Hello friends, how are you? My name is Eleanor May Whitaker. I am 105 years old. And if you are young and listening to me right now, please don't scroll away, because what I am about to tell you took me an entire century to understand. I was born in 1921 in a small wooden house outside Tulsa, Oklahoma. There was no air conditioning, no television, no internet. We didn't have much money, but we had dinner together every night, and my mother believed a warm meal and a calm voice could fix almost anything. I grew up during the Great Depression. I remember the night my father came home with his hat in his hands after losing his job at the factory. It was the first time I saw a grown man cry, not because he was weak, but because he felt he had failed his family. That was the day I learned something important. You will fail in this life, and it will not kill you unless you let shame do the killing. In 1943, at 22 years old, I married a young soldier named Thomas Whitaker before he shipped off to war. We didn't wait for perfect timing because life is never perfectly timed. We built our marriage on handwritten letters, faith, and the stubborn decision to stay committed even when it wasn't easy. When he came home, I thanked God, because not every woman in my town got that miracle. Over the next 61 years, we argued about money, about pride, about small things that felt big at the time. But do you know what held us together? It wasn't passion. It wasn't excitement. It wasn't butterflies. It was kindness. Marry someone kind. When beauty fades and hardship comes knocking, kindness is the only thing strong enough to stay standing. I lost my younger sister in a car accident when I was in my 40s, and I stood in a hospital hallway that smelled like bleach and heartbreak, angry at God and angry at the world. I carried that anger for years until one day I realized holding on to it was like drinking poison and expecting someone else to die. Forgive quickly, not because people deserve it, but because you deserve peace. By the time I was 70, the world was louder and faster, and everyone seemed to be chasing fame or status or validation from strangers. Let me tell you something clearly. Do not chase fame, chase character. Fame makes strangers know your name. Character makes your grandchildren proud to carry it. When my husband passed away in his sleep at 82, I woke up to half a bed and a silence so heavy it felt like it might crush me. Living long is not always easy. Sometimes it means surviving everyone you love. But at 83, instead of shrinking into loneliness, I started volunteering at an elementary school, reading books to children and baking cookies for neighbors who barely knew me. Never retire from living. The day you stop feeling useful is the day you start feeling old. I see young people terrified of turning 30, worried they haven't accomplished enough by 25. Comparing their behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel. At 25, I didn't even know who I was yet. Your life is not a race. It is a journey that unfolds in seasons. Take care of your body early. I walked nearly every day of my life. Nothing fancy, just steady movement. I ate home-cooked meals, didn't smoke, didn't drink to excess. But I also enjoyed pie on Sundays because balance matters more than extremes. Save your money, even if it's just a little, because financial stress steals sleep faster than heartbreak. But don't cling to money so tightly that you forget to live. I have never seen a hearse pulling a trailer full of belongings. Love deeply, but do not disappear inside someone else. Keep your hobbies, your friendships, your voice. And here is my honest confession at 105 years old. My only real regret is worrying about things that never happened. I worried my husband would die in war. He came home. I worried we would lose our house. We didn't. I worried my children would drift away. They stayed close. I wasted precious hours fearing storms that never arrived. What truly mattered were the ordinary days, the quiet dinners, the small apologies, the laughter in the kitchen, and the hugs I almost didn't give because I was too proud. Life is not about avoiding pain. You will lose people. You will fail. You will sit alone in rooms you never imagined. But you will also laugh until your stomach hurts, hold a newborn baby, and feel time stand still. Watch sunsets that remind you how small and beautiful this world is. You will survive things you once believed would destroy you. If I could sit across from my 20-year-old self, I would take her trembling hands and say, "Stop rushing. Stop comparing. Stop worrying so much about tomorrow that you miss today. Be kind. Forgive quickly. Move your body. Save your money. Love your people. And for heaven's sake, don't wait for life to start, because it is already happening." I am 105 years old, and if the Lord gives me one more morning, I will still find something small to be grateful for, because gratitude, more than luck or vitamins or good genes, is what carries a person across a century. That is how you survive 105 years, and that is how you live long enough to tell the story.